Been a little while since we talked about censorship news, and we do have an update, an unfortunate update on that topic. Check this out from just 1 hour ago. Reuters says Australia's social media ban for children takes effect in world first. The bullet points, summarizing first in the world to ban social media for under 16s, 10 major platforms ordered to block children or face fines, closely watched by others considering similar moves. We of course have seen similar things occurring across the world though, notably in the UK with the Online Safety Act for example, although that's not like fully rolled out yet. Back over in Australia, they're talking about how this could set precedent for the rest of the world, saying things like the rollout in Australia ends a year of speculation about whether a country can block children from using technology embedded in modern life. It also begins a live experiment that will be studied globally by lawmakers frustrated by what they say is a tech industry too slow to implement harm reduction measures. Yeah, but we all know that's their convenient excuse to try and obtain people's biometric data and to invade on your privacy and to control the internet as much as they possibly can. We can see that exact thing being elaborated on here. Yes, indeed, it gets worse. They say the ban initially covers 10 platforms, but the government said the list would change as new products emerge and young users switch to alternatives. Of the initial 10, all but Elon Musk's X have said they will comply using age inference, guessing a person's age from their online activity or age estimation, which is usually based on a selfie. They might also check with uploaded identification documents or linked bank account details. It's really insane how we've all said before that the old internet, so to speak, had a golden rule, which was don't share personal information about yourself online. And now the government and these so-called activists are advocating for people to send their private information online, all for the guise of, oh, it's for your own good, it's for safety, it's to protect the children. Musk said the ban, quote, seems like a backdoor way to control access to the internet by all Australians, unquote, and most platforms have complained that it violates people's right to free speech. An Australian High Court challenge overseen by a libertarian state lawmaker is pending. For social media businesses, the implementation marks a new era of structural stagnation as user numbers flatline and time spent on platforms shrink, studies show. Well, if there's any good news here, I guess it's actually that one. Look, ultimately with the influx of social media, sure, there's been like some good things, but I think a lot of people, maybe even the majority of people familiar with social media and like, you know, that regularly use the internet would probably agree that social media has probably been a net negative overall for people. So hearing that, yeah, people are spending less time on social media apparently, I mean, yeah, that's actually great news. And if that is true, I do think a large factor is how dull the internet has become. Dead internet theory just gets more and more, let me rephrase, becomes less and less of a theory every day, really. I mean, there's just such an influx of bots nowadays and AI generated content and bots that just are like created to try and rage bait people. Even you'll see like countries trying to undermine other countries by doing this. And then on top of all this artificial content that has infested the internet so much nowadays, we've also got real people running big accounts that have become lazier than ever with their reposting. For example, I've literally on Twitter seen like big Twitter accounts quote tweeting other big Twitter accounts and essentially verbatim saying the exact same thing in their quote tweet. And it's like, bro, are you guys really that desperate that you're not even trying anymore? Like, there's not even an attempt to have an original take. You're just gonna verbatim repeat what the quote, what the thing you're quoting says. Like, oh my gosh, dude. So when you go online and you see that, and it's just like, okay, this is just, you know, repeating what that other person said verbatim, and that's like obviously a bot, and this is like McDonald's doing AI generated commercials. Like, it's like, what is even the point? Yeah, let me just go outside, holy smokes. Anyways, excuse me, I'm probably preaching to the choir here, which is unfortunate in many ways because, you know, we can all relate to that being a negative experience online. Hopefully things get better, but obviously relying on the government to like make things better is a foolish endeavor, and that's putting it extremely nicely, and I'll leave it there. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you in the comments and in the next one.